Okay, so there are three things that guys need to do in order to see lasting change, and most guys are not addressing them very well, if at all. So I'm going to unpack those three things today. So if you're somebody who has been trying to change certain aspects of your life and your habits and your rhythms, and you've been struggling, then this video is for you. Now, this all started for me 2 weeks ago when I was having a family meeting with my wife. We have this meeting every single week. And I threw in just a random question. It wasn't part of our agenda that week, but I just threw in, I said, "Hey, how can I love you better this week? Is there something I'm not doing? Is there something that I could do better? I just want to hear from your heart. What's going on?" She thought about it for a minute and she came back to me and she said, "Put your phone away after work." And I was like, okay, that seems odd. Now, all right, noted. I have been slacking a little bit on my habit of getting my phone put away after work and not having it around with the family. So great, I'll do that. What else? How else can I love you better? She said, "That's it." And I was like, "That's it? Wow, okay, this is a big deal. Either I'm winning in massive ways everywhere, and this is one small little thing, or this thing is so important to her that it's all she wants me to hear." And that's probably the more accurate assessment. I'm certainly not winning perfectly in every category. There's lots of ways I can improve. And so to hear that is like, oh, that's a big deal for her. Put your phone away. And the reality is I've had all of these different environments that I've created and habits that I've designed, and I have a system. And I believe discipline is irrelevant if you have the right system. I believe it. I know it. I've experienced it. And this is what I teach to men is how to develop the right systems so that discipline becomes irrelevant. Now, there are times where your own systems begin to slip and you are not following through with them exactly the way that you should be. And so the number one reason why guys struggle to create change is they are relying on willpower to create discipline rather than systems. And willpower is always a fleeting thing. It's something that goes further and further away the longer the day goes. You get to this, time frame that we call the 5 to 9 in our coaching program. The 5 to 9 is that time between 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. when you should be showing up well as a husband and as a father and designing your day for tomorrow and setting in place the things that allow you to win tomorrow. That is the area that most men fail. And that's why we have a quick start process in our coaching program where guys implement change on that immediately so they can see some of the most massive change in their life that they have never expected possible by changing their evening. It's just such a critical time. But willpower is the lowest during that time frame. And so system design and environment design and habit design and all this stuff is so incredibly important for you to be able to win that time frame. And guys are relying on willpower when it's totally depleted during 5 to 9. It's totally gone. And so if you are trying to set the stage for things to happen that are going to rely on you making a decision with willpower to do one thing versus the other, you have already failed and you will never create lasting change. You've already failed. The second thing that guys do is they realize that their phone is not neutral. So if you want to create change, you have to recognize things are not neutral. And in this case, the story with my wife, my phone is not neutral. My phone at 5 p.m. has a gravitational force of its own. It's like a tractor beam that pulls me in. It says, "Hey, come check your email, come scroll social media, come write those notes down that you were thinking about," all of these things. And then I just get sucked down the rabbit trail. And we have to recognize that that thing is not neutral. And if that thing's not neutral, then none of the things are neutral. Everything is either drawing you towards the man that you are trying to change to become, or it is keeping you stuck as the man that you are. And so you have to assess all of your environment, every bit of it. Your environment is either controlled and it's helping you to become a new kind of man, or it's perpetuating the man that you already are. Now, the third thing that men struggle with, and one of the reasons that they're never going to change, is their routines are too big. They're just too monstrous. We see this every January with New Year's resolutions. People say, I haven't been working out the last 6 months, so I'm going to work out 5 days a week, and I'm going to change my diet, and I'm going to get more sleep, and the widespread change. And willpower, as we just talked about, cannot maintain that. And so, what happens when your first kid gets sick? Well, you drop off for a couple of days. Well, then the other kid gets sick. Then your wife gets sick, and you look up and it's been 3 weeks and you haven't exercised and you're kind of back to where you started. Why? Because it was too big. It was unsustainable. It's not something that could be done in the normal days. It can only be done on the good days with high willpower. And so, we have to change the way we approach that. In our coaching program, we are constantly talking about this mantra, which is consistency is greater than intensity. That means that to do something for a little while consistently is better than trying to do all the things very inconsistently. Or put another way, it's better to do something regularly than to target something that you cannot regularly do. And we want to approach change with micro adjustments. So the first thing is we have to pick what we call MEIs, minimum effective inputs. What's the smallest thing that you can change that has the most upsize impact on what you're trying to change? Then you have to design the environment around that. And you have to recognize that that environment and those systems need to be in place during the time of day when willpower is the weakest. And if we can do those three things, we can do those really easily, then we can actually create pretty consistent and lasting change. We just have to make those adjustments. So, my challenge to you, just thinking about my conversation with my wife a couple weeks ago and the conversations I have with lots of men and hearing about and talking to their wives, your phone is a massive problem. Your phone needs to be put away. So, in order to test whether or not you can create massive change with small adjustments, I want you to try for 30 days. You can get a brick device where you tap it and lock your phone. But when you come home, pray in the driveway. Lord, help me to be a better husband and father today. Holy Spirit, come and lead me into this role and help me disconnect from work. Just say a quick little 1-minute prayer. Turn your phone on airplane mode or brick it or have it scheduled to brick. Put it in your work bag. Go put your bag in your office or your bedroom or wherever it goes and don't touch it. The reason I like the brick is because you're going to lack willpower. So you're going to go try to check your phone at some point. You're going to be like, I'll just sneak in there and I'll just look real quick while I'm going to the bathroom. And if it's bricked, then you're preventing that from happening. And you're not getting sucked in and getting distracted because you've already tried to reset your mind towards your family. And then you're going to disrupt that by checking your phone. And then you're going to have to re-engage again as a father and as a husband. So don't do that. 30 days, put your phone away, brick it, see if this doesn't radically transform the way that you are approaching your kids, the connectivity with your wife, even the amount of physical intimacy that you end up having with your wife as a result of being more present. It's going to change everything. And it's going to be an example and a test for you of how these three things can create massive change in your life if you apply them properly. You need the minimum effective inputs. You need to design your environment in order to achieve those things. And you need to recognize that willpower is going to be at its weakest. And you need to leverage systems in order to follow through. So I hope this is helpful for you, and go give it a try. And if you're interested in what we do in our coaching program, you can see information down below in the description. And until next time, rule well.